So what I want to be able to do here is show you guys some different things that you can do with Canva. So after you watch the example video here, I'm going to show you some different things that you're going to be able to do as you kind of work with Canva and some different features that there are. What you may have noticed is that with the different animations and stuff, with some of the words and some of the language that was incorporated, for instance, at one point in time, you get to where you could see where it says the brightest lights here, the biggest stage. So it gives you different text and it also pops up in different ways. What you're going to see here is that you're able to see the different text. And what I'm able to do with that text is I can actually animate that, the way it comes into the picture, the way it exits the picture. So what I did here is I just selected the brightest lights so you can see it. And I want to just show you some different animations that you could really use and utilize. But what you'll notice too is that where it says the fade up on my screen, you'll notice that if you don't have animation, all right, it'll say animate for you. So if I clicked on it, it's going to give you different animations that you could possibly use. You can also sample some different ones and see what they would do. Having this, the text come in certain way, have it leave certain way. And the cool thing is you can actually change the speed with a Canva Pro subscription that we have. All right. So what I want you guys to be able to see is that here's the text. As you go through it though, all right, let's say for instance, you don't want it to be on the screen the whole time. All right. So what I'm going to actually do is I want to show you how I can incorporate different text to come in, different text to go out. And you're going to right click on, in this case, the brightest lights that I have. And you'll go down to where it says show element timing. Once you click on show element timing, it's going to show you all the different elements that I have in the commercial. The different elements, it could be the pictures, it could be the text itself. All right. And you'll notice that as you go through it, you can see, all right, here's the first one. This is when it goes in. This is when it goes out. Here's the second one. Here's when it goes in. Here's when it goes out. And then obviously the third one when it goes in and when it goes out as well. Okay. So you'll be able to see all that stuff. You can also see the different pictures and stuff in the background, how they want to play, what animation you want to use with that as well. So I just want to kind of show you how you can do these different things. One instance here, all right, I was kind of messing around with creating a logo, and I want you guys to really think about, coming up with a mascot of some sort for your brand. In this case, I kind of designed this tiger with the same color scheme and all that other stuff. I added some sunglasses, I added a hat to it and stuff, what I'll show you guys a little bit later there. But it is a good way to kind of get your brand out there with some stuff. Or you can actually see it right here. Kept the same color scheme, I added some sunglasses to it. I added a different little hat to it and stuff. But back to the other screen with things. What I want you guys to notice is that with the different animation, all right, what I was able to do with this stuff to kind of make it stand out. If you were using, I'm using an example if I had a sports podcast. If I wanted to do, let's say, a 2025 NFL draft episode, I want to make sure that I include a couple things. I want to make sure that I include when the episode is going to come out. So you can see like with the different signs and stuff. I also wanted to, incorporate kind of like if it was a player being drafted, how they get their jersey, they get their hats. So that was part of my element too. You can see I used a stomp feature for it. That was the element that I wanted to kind of, make it kind of pop onto the screen to show as if, it's the person getting their jersey, getting their hat with this, as they would get drafted or some sort. But like I said, you can see, I added the sign. I wanted to make it look like a stage. That was important to me as well to also incorporate too. But like I said, you want to make sure that it's an advertisement for your episode. So when is it coming out? What's it going to include? What is the release aspect of it as well? So just some things to keep in mind, as you move forward with stuff. So kind of jumping over into some of the animation stuff I showed you with the text. I also want to show you some of the animation stuff with graphics, with pictures, with photos. You notice that if I would click on my picture, it'll kind of highlight everything you can see. And just like I would with the other one, if I wanted to animate it, I would click on animate. Once I would click on animate, I get the different elements over on the left-hand side that you're able to see. Again, you can see examples of what it's going to do and how you'd want to utilize it, whether it's coming in, going out of the screen, whatever you want to do with it, okay? The other thing I want to point out, though, is something called custom animation. Custom animation is where you are actually able to create the path that you want. So it's not necessarily like, hey, I want to make the tiger talk, but it's the animation of how you want that animation to move on the screen. Okay, there's some tips and tricks there. So if I click on my picture, in this case, the tiger, all right, you can see that I can make the path. Again, you can speed it up. You can add some different things onto it. But I also want to point out the fact that if I were to click on it and I want to custom animate it and I just wanted to make it go in a straight line, if you hold down the shift button, once you hold shift and then start to drag your picture, you're going to notice that the line just becomes very straight. All right, so if I want to go straight across, straight down, straight across again, all right. But what I want you to also pay attention to is, if you pause at one point in time, it's going to pause because it is a custom animation, okay? So just something to kind of keep in mind too with the pictures, as well as the different stuff that you're able to do with the text. A couple last things that I want to show you guys here with some different things that you can do. Is I also want to show you, obviously we talked about different elements, and if you want to search for things, for instance, I told you, I was looking specifically for a type of, the way I wanted the tiger to look. So I literally was like tiger with a body standing, and you can find all different aspects of it. So that was one thing just to kind of keep in mind with stuff too. But another cool thing with Canva, you're going to see something called Magic Media. If you don't see it along the left-hand side, you may have to go to apps and search for Magic Media and then add it as an actual app. But if it is there, what you're able to do when you click on Magic Media, you're able to use the AI features that are already built into Canva. All right, you notice down at the bottom there, you have almost 500 credits, and it refreshes every month. That's another beautiful thing that we get with the Canva Pro aspect of things with education. Again, 500 credits, maybe you're like, wow, I don't know if that's enough. Trust me, I barely even reach 100 sometimes. And I, look at a bunch of different graphics and things like that to see what I can come up with. But let's say, for instance, you want to create some AI generated thing. For instance, let's do a cat sitting on, I don't know, Mars. All right. So if I were to type in cat sitting on Mars, what it's going to do is I'd click generate image. And you'll see that, it takes a little bit of time to generate it, but you're going to ultimately get 4 different AI generated graphics based on what you type in. Okay. Now, the cool thing is as you look at the different graphics, you'll see that if I were to click on one of them, all right, it's going to appear on my screen. Now, that automatically goes into my uploads because now that becomes a picture that I've owned because I used it. So now if I wanted to reuse it somewhere else, I had that because it's automatically uploaded. All right, again, click on this one. All right, this one automatically uploads. You can see it, kind of fill up. It's in all of my uploaded things that I have on here. Okay, now, let's say for instance, all right, maybe I just wanted to use the cat silhouette picture, but I didn't want the background of the cat silhouette. Okay, I just wanted to pull the cat silhouette. Maybe I wanted to put it with the other cat on the other picture. To kind of incorporate them both. Here's a cool thing that's already built into Canva is if you just want that picture, what you're able to do is you're actually able to remove that background by going up to where it says BG Remover there. Once I click on the picture, I go to BG Remover. And once I would click on that, what it's going to do for me is it's going to actually remove everything except for that silhouette cat that I wanted. Okay, so now what you can see is the background's completely gone. All I have is that silhouette cat, and now I can add it to the background, that I already have the other picture, which could be cool. Maybe you just want to use the cat for something else. You can make your own background for that stuff, all right? But what you'll notice now is the background's gone, and you just have a picture of that cat based on the Magic Media image that you created and removing the background, okay? Now, another cool thing, all right? Maybe you don't want to use Magic Media. A couple other examples I was going through just to show you guys, all right, if you type in anything, all right, let's say, for instance, I type in sloth. All right, I pull up a sloth picture. All right, that came from just a regular element on Canva. All right, and now maybe I don't want the jungle background for the sloth. So if I go to BG remover for this sloth, you can see it completely goes away. And now I'm left with just a cool picture of this sloth. Now I can make my own background or do whatever I want to with the sloth. And now it removed it. The other neat thing though is it's not just with different photos and graphics and things. Canva actually allows BG Remover to remove the backgrounds of videos. So if I want to use this animated sloth, all right, but I don't want the trees and stuff in the background here, if I clicked on BG Remover for this video, what you're going to notice is that the background goes away and I'm left with just the animated sloth. So it's kind of a really cool feature because I know that's something that's easy to find as a tool, just on the regular internet. You can use BG Remover for pictures, for graphics, and also for videos. So just some things to keep in mind here, some tips and tricks that I wanted you to kind of pick up on. Like I said, go through the different stuff. The more you kind of mess around with some of the different features on Canva, you'll be able to see that there's some pretty cool things that you're able to do just as you go through. So continue to work with your graphic design stuff. Continue to work on putting together your actual commercial here with some of these tips.